It's always great seeing yourself represented on screen. Over the years, we've got a bunch of really great superheroes on film and TV that have Hispanic and Latin origins. These characters have made their way to the big, small, and streaming screens and have greatly helped to diversify the roster of superheroes available. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the best Hispanic superheroes from film and TV. So, let's dive right in. Starting off at number 9, it's Elena Rodriguez. In Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Elena is a Colombian woman who never quite wanted to become a hero. But after coming across a fish product that was Tarragon-tainted, her inner inhuman potential awoke, giving her the ability to super speed at short ranges. Despite being hesitant at first, she used the ability to help fight corruption in her country, which led to S.H.I.E.L.D. offering her a spot in the Secret Warriors program. Elena is a hero who definitely showed a great amount of passion for her community and continued to be a great help to all of her friends. She's definitely one of the best agents that we've seen on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Next, at number 8, it's Robbie Reyes. Robbie definitely had to face a bunch of issues when he was growing up. He struggled to keep his younger brother safe. One night, a gang ran him off the road, which made it so Gabe could no longer walk. Robbie died because of this incident. But as luck would have it, Johnny Blaze just happened to be close by at the time and gave Robbie the chance to become the Ghost Rider. Reyes now rides in action with his Dodge Charger, taking out the gang who caused him to go through so much pain and helping out S.H.I.E.L.D. every now and then. It was so cool to see Robbie's origin story and to get the chance to hear of places like Southern California that rarely show up on TV, especially when it comes to superhero shows and movies. Moving to number 7, it's Vibe. From the Flash TV show, Vibe definitely ranks among the better side characters we've seen in a superhero series. He started his superhero journey as a crime fighter who took on the leader of a Detroit street gang through the use of his powers that could generate shockwave energy. In the comics, he joined the Justice League of America during their time in Detroit, and in the comics was often just used for comedy. He ended up being the punchline in a lot of jokes. It wasn't until Vibe's inclusion in the Flash 2014 supporting cast that things started to turn around for the character. The character was changed to become somewhat of a genius who had a great sense of technology. Instead of being the running gag, he actually became accepted and respected by his peers. It's great to see Vibe being able to find his place on the team, and we think this is the way to do representation properly. At number 6, it's Yolanda Montez. Similar to Vibe, Wildcat was an attempt by DC to have more diversity in their roster of superheroes back in the mid-1980s. Yolanda assumed the role of Wildcat after the death of Ted Grant, but didn't really manage to find a stable footing in the world of comic books. The character, however, got the chance to shine in the Stargirl series though. Wildcat is shown to be consumed with religious guilt because of a mistake that she made, which resulted in a huge divide between her and her family. Yolanda struggled to get her family to see eye to eye with her. The Justice Society of America has in a way become a second family for her, allowing her a place where she can express her sense of determination and skills more confidently. For the number 5 spot, we've got Molly Hernandez. Molly is quite an interesting character. While she's shown to be quite outgoing initially, her real powers exist because of internal anxiety. She gets most of her powers as part of a weird fight or flight response at first. It turns out that her powers were actually the result of experiments that her birth parents did with an alien mineral. But once they ended up dying in an explosion, she never got the chance to ask them about it. In Marvel's Runaways, we get to see Molly face cultural distancing while being raised by her adoptive parents. While they do want her to be proud of her Hispanic heritage, they don't allow her to meet with a blood relative until they see their own benefit from the encounter. Her wanting to return to her past is about wanting to find out what happened to her parents. Yeah, but also connecting once again with her cultural roots and heritage. Plus, at number 4, it's Jamie Reyes. Jamie Reyes, or Blue Beetle, is a Latin superhero who's getting his very own movie next summer. In the comics, Jamie assumed the role of Blue Beetle after the tragic death of Ted Cord. Cord was immensely popular among the fans, so having him replaced felt like it was a surefire way to fail. But the team handling the comic worked hard to make the new Blue Beetle likable. Jamie is a Mexican-American kid from El Paso. While he could have never even imagined imagine being a part of the DC League, his life changed the day he came into contact with some alien battle armor. His initial comic book was canceled, but it's clear that the superhero's journey is far from over. It'll be exciting to see Blue Beetle on the big screen, since this is also the first time a Hispanic DC superhero is going to be getting a movie based on them. Up next at number 3, it's Miss America. Miss America can be said to be a hero who's currently training to become an all-time great. She was one of the major characters in the Doctor Strange sequel, and much of this was because of the amazing powers that make her one of the most important characters in the entire MCU. Much of the movie's events are tied directly to her powers and just how strong they are. By the end of the film, we saw that she was training with Wong Kamar-Taj. Hopefully, she'll be able to gain better control of her abilities and become a part of the Young Avengers in the future. Like many of the characters on this list, family played a huge role in Miss America's origin story. In the Doctor Strange sequel, her powers are said to be the reason why her mothers got killed, but the film takes her on a journey where she understands that her powers aren't a curse, but rather a gift that she can learn to control. America is a great character, especially for people who feel like they lack a place where they can truly belong. In the comics, she does eventually find a place she can call home with the Young Avengers. This is why we think her trajectory in the MCU will be quite similar. Moving on to number 2 spot, it's Roberto da Costa. The New Mutants movie was far from perfect, and that's about as nicely as we can put it. But we've got to say, Sunspot was an aspect of the movie that's worth taking a closer look at. He's shown to be a rich kid that has deep internal remorse. Much like America, his powers came out at a terrible time, which resulted in some serious harm coming to someone he cared about a lot. This makes Sunspot a bit hesitant to use his abilities even when he's in danger. This version of Sunspot definitely highlights how tough it can be to get representation right on the screen. In the comics, Roberto has a darker complexion, and some fans didn't like the fact that Henry Zaga, who portrayed Sunspot in the New Mutants, had a much lighter skin tone. The director stated that he wanted to represent Brazil in a more positive way, but it seems he missed the mark on why Sunspot's skin tone was an important element of this character's origin in the comics, due to the interracial tension that exists in Brazil between people with lighter and darker skin tones. Finally, at number 1, it's Moon Knight. Mark Spector may be Jewish, but in the MCU, he's shown to have a bit of a Latin heritage too. Members of his family are portrayed by Latin actors in the Moon Knight TV series. This is likely due to Isaac's Guatemalan and Cuban heritage. This is why we think it's a great addition, even if it isn't exactly like in the comics. The pace of the series made it so we can't really dive too deep into Mark's family history. They could be anywhere from Latin America, but this change to Moon Knight was acknowledged in the series by the fact that Jack Lockley spoke Spanish. Moon Knight was managed to become one of the most interesting superheroes in recent times, and we're eagerly awaiting the show's 2nd season. That is a wrap for this video. Which of these superheroes would you say was your favorite? Comment below and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.